How's it going, everyone? I'm Sir James, coming at you guys with yet another custom lightsaber review. This time we're going to be taking a look at Ventress's lightsabers from Star Wars The Clone Wars. I did acquire this hilt from CCsabers, and I'll have a link to his website in the video description down below. As far as, is he trustworthy? And the answer is yes. He's been around the saber market for quite a bit of time. In fact, some of you guys may recall my very first Starkiller lightsaber. The one that I gave away when I reached 100,000 subscribers. He was actually the person who did my first custom lightsaber install back in the day. And he's done some other things for me in the past as well. He also sells lightsabers, and pretty cool guy, so definitely worth checking out for sure. And so yeah, I was pretty excited to take a look at these. Last time that I reviewed Ventress's lightsabers was way back when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge first opened up. We took a look at the legacy version of these hilts, and at the time, I thought they were, pretty decent. This is way before I even got into custom lightsabers. And then again, back then, legacy sabers used to be like $110. Obviously not anymore. But yeah, so here's pretty much what you get. So in this, you get, of course, 2 hilts. You also get some CoverTech wheel options. You do get a little one set of these special pieces here that will allow you to connect these to make the double-bladed version of her saber. Now, Ventress doesn't use the connected version a ton of times. I could only recall like maybe a handful of times where the sabers were fully connected, but most of the time she's using them as 2 individual blades. You also get 2 sets of these lightsaber belt clips that would be used to hold the CoverTech wheel version. Or, to hold the CoverTech wheels once you install them, which is simple to do. You just got to remove a screw and then put the other piece back on. And then, of course, we have our hilts. I'll go ahead and remove out of the box and place this off to the side. Now, the first thing that I said when I got these out of the box was like, wow. Because, again, this is the first time I'm holding a pair of custom versions of these hilts, not the legacy one. And yeah, it's just crazy how these feel. Obviously, they're very small in the hand. I don't know how to describe it, to be quite honest. There's a word probably for it, but I can't think of the word, to be quite honest. But these feel great in the hand. Like, as far as a curved lightsaber, these feel absolutely amazing. So I'm very happy with that. Let me give you a closer look here. So again, here's my hand just gripping this, obviously very nice and small. This does use the 7/8 blade in terms of the blade sizing. So I'll just show you one because they're both pretty much exactly the same. Got the nice pattern all the way down. Now that CoverTech wheel, as I mentioned, all you need to do is to remove one of these screws on either side. And when you do that, you could simply just screw in the CoverTech wheel. It's very simple. It only takes mere seconds to do. But yeah, these things feel amazing. Now, I want to show you guys something because I want to be upfront and honest when I do these reviews. Literally prior to filming this video, because I was filming the outside shots first, I did something and I made a terrible mistake. And I wanted to point this out to you guys. So this is not the fault of the makers of the hilts. This is the fault of me, the user, to point out to you guys not to make this mistake. So that black screw that I was mentioning, well, when I was putting in the prongs to make the double-bladed formats, I accidentally over-tightened one of the black screws. And by doing that, I literally broke the screw right here. So now I can't get this piece out. Now I could, but I have to wait until Monday where I have the proper tools to remove my mistake. So keep in mind that when you are tightening those black screws, do not over tighten because you may break it like I did. But it's not like the lightsaber's broke or anything like that. That's an easy fix. I just don't have the tools here and now to do it. But I rather point out my mistake so you guys don't have to. Now, speaking of the prongs, as I was mentioning, this is the special little pieces that you get. You get 2 of these. If the camera would like to focus, these pieces right here. So what happens is that you remove technically the black screws. And when you do that, you go ahead and insert these. And when you do, basically these will slide in, and then you will tighten the black screw where they will lock into this little pad here. And you do the same thing on the other end, and that would basically allow you to connect the saber like so to make the S-shaped double-bladed formats. So keep in mind that it's a simple process to do. Again, just the key thing is don't over tighten your screw, otherwise you'll have the mistake that I have, but I'll have it fixed in no time. But other than that, I will say that in my use for the outside shot, as far as using it as a double-bladed saber, it's weird. I had that same feeling when I reviewed the Legacy version, and it's still the same for the custom ones, just because when you have it in the double-bladed formats, again, it's this S-shaped form to it, and it's weird, a little bit awkward. Probably in time, if I kept using it over and over again, I may find the form that would go with it quite well. Obviously, I do not know it, so therefore it's awkward for me. However, as far as two individual hilts like so, which is the most common time that Ventress is using the sabers, these actually handled pretty well. In fact, before I show you guys the outside shot, I wanted to go ahead and kind of take the moment to basically, let you guys listen to it in terms of how does the volume sound while we're in this closed room before we go outside. But before I do that, I also wanted to point out a couple things. First off, as far as charging the saber goes, actually let me hold the one that doesn't have the messed up piece. In terms of the battery access, this does feature a rechargeable battery. In order to access the battery, which is going to be located in the pommel section here, you are first going to need to remove the small little screw here, and the tools that you need to do this are provided with the lightsaber. Once you remove that first screw, you're then going to go ahead and proceed to remove these two longer screws. And it's got a removable chassis with a removable battery, so it's a very simple thing to do. Now, when you reinsert everything back into the hilt, the easiest way is to first screw down the two long screws and then put a little bit of pressure on the top here to basically move this down a little bit, and then you'll be able to insert that small screw with ease. I would do the whole process right now, but it's a little bit tedious, and I'm trying not to lose the small screw because you only get, I believe, one set of those. But as far as retention screws, you do have extras of those, and same for the long screw as well. You also do get these little blade plugs here. Just a simple little blade plug. There's nothing too fancy about them. It just kind of covers that. There's still a little hole in the center, so just to kind of, help add a little bit of a look to it. But let me go ahead and let you guys listen to how this sounds. So let me go ahead and get to, I think I'm already on the Ventress sound font. So that's just one. Here's the other one. So this does have the Profi. This has got the Profi install, so it's got the smooth swing and everything. And if you would like to access the Profi, you do have to remove the emitter section to access the Profi board. The Profi board is not going to be located down here with the removable battery pack option. So that's how it sounds in this room.
Anakin Skywalker. Ben Solo.
We'll activate one. Sorry, I just like doing that. So that's to kind of give you an idea of how this is going to sound with the speakers in a closed room. So let me go ahead and give you guys the outside shot. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for the outside portion is that I'm going to start with me using these as a double-bladed saber. And then we're going to get to the portion where I'm using these as two individual hilts. Now for the demonstration on the outside, I am using a little bit of a shorter blade at exactly 28 inches for the initial length. I did have 32-inch blades, but I found that using two of these as separate hilts worked a lot better, at least for me, with these shorter blades. So that way I have a little bit more control, and that way when it comes to my swinging, there'll be moments where I'm going a lot more heavier with my swing to kind of test the durability and to see if the saber is going to hold as far as how I'm swinging it, or is it going to fall apart. So until then, let's go ahead and take a look at what the results are. Alright guys, welcome back. I know it's a little bit of a lengthier portion as far as the outside shots, but I figured you guys would like to have seen more of that than anything. So yeah, as far as using the hilts, again, as a double-bladed format, it's still awkward as heck to kind of get used to that. But using them as two individual hilts, especially with a 28-inch blade, for me personally, again, I'm still not used to swinging two individual sabers. Then again, I'm not really much of a single saber kind of guy. I'm more of a double-bladed type of person. But you know, it handled a lot of the swings perfectly fine. Didn't have any issues. I even did a couple of moments where I kind of like, you know, held this in kind of like a reverse type grip and whatnot. And yeah, it seemed to do pretty well. So I'm definitely happy with how it handled and how it felt. Again, these feel really cool. I mean, as I'm probably going to take some time to maybe practice using these as two hilts and kind of seeing how much I can maybe progress over time. Maybe that will be one of the things that I do this year as like a New Year resolution thing. Maybe practice and try to get better instead of using the same moves over and over again. Maybe one day, sometime this year, I'll like impress you guys with what I've been self-taught or something. Who knows? We'll just kind of go from there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these once again in the comment section down below. Again, here's a look with them together side by side. These things are great, and CCsabers did a good job, so I do thank you for that. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy this review, and always remember, may the Force be with you.